We have the latest on Sasha Banks signing for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and AEW is set to make some big changes in 2023. But first, AEW star Miro has been absent from television ever since September's All Out pay-per-view, where he competed in a 6-man tag match teaming with Sting and Darby Allin to defeat Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews of the House of Black. Following a recent Fightful report which noted that there are no plans for his return, despite him being keen to wrestle, he would speak with Muse TV this week to discuss when we can expect a comeback, and Miro would simply say, "It's not up to me, I'm doing everything I can, and from then on, I'm just sitting and waiting for the opportunity." Another name missing from AEW television as of late is Sting, who was last seen on November 19th on AEW Dark, where he and Darby Allin defeated Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. The reason for his month-long absence has been revealed, with the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter noting that he underwent arthroscopic surgery, which is a form of keyhole surgery on one of his knees about 7 weeks ago. Yesterday, Tokyo Sports would announce the winners of their 2022 Wrestling Awards, and as for the main ones, the MVP of the year was revealed to be Kazuchika Okada, who won the IWGP World Heavyweight title this year, as well as the G1 Climax. Match of the year went to Okada and Will Ospreay for their performance in the G1 Climax final. All Japan's Kento Miyahara won the Outstanding Performance Award, while Sayuri of Stardom won the Women's Wrestling Grand Prize. Impact Wrestling have announced their newest signing, with former ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham joining the roster. This after he appeared on Impact last night to come to the aid of Delirious, who was on the receiving end of an attack from Eddie Edwards. Gresham would later confirm that he has officially signed a contract with the promotion and is now set to take on Eddie Edwards at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view on January 13th, 2023. The move follows his exit from AEW/ROH earlier this year, following creative disagreements with management. Mandy Rose was released from WWE earlier this week due to the nature of content that she's been posting on the Fantime website. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, Impact Wrestling's Tommy Dreamer would discuss the possibility of Mandy joining the Impact roster, with him noting, "Yes, if she doesn't go to AEW, 1000% Impact would love to have you, because you're a star and you're great in the ring, and if AEW doesn't jump on that, hell, Impact will. Hey Mandy Rose, call me, text me, DM me." In another story concerning Mandy Rose, Dave Meltzer would talk about the matter in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, where he would reveal that Rose wasn't offered the chance to take her explicit content down from Fantime, something that was being speculated by fans, and it would report, "It is believed that she was fired without being given the option to take the stuff down and tone down her site. Those in the company felt they had no other choice than to fire her because she was an active performer on the roster, and these were public photos and videos for customers." Saraya would speak with Forbes this week, where she gave her take on the current AEW women's division, with her calling for an all-women's show as well as a women's tag team division, and she would say, "I'm always for an all-women's show for sure. I feel like there could be a tag division we could get going as well, like women's tag team championships. I don't think we should load wrestling with a ton of championships, but there is space for a women's tag division too. There are a lot of women we have backstage that are not on the show, and that could give them an opportunity to be on the show. There is always so much we could do with the women, and people don't realize how much talent we have backstage." AEW did recently file a trademark for the term All Elite Women, with many thinking this is related to an all-women's show, so it might not be too far away until Saraya gets at least one of her wishes. Next up, we have the latest on how Sasha Banks signed for New Japan Pro Wrestling. News recently broke that Mercedes Varnado, formerly known as Sasha Banks, is set to make her New Japan debut in January at the Wrestle Kingdom 17 event. We now have two reports that provide some insight in how the deal came together, including when and why she left WWE in the first place. A report from Fightful Select has confirmed Raj Giri's report from earlier in the year, revealing that Mercedes' exit was negotiated months ago, this despite her still appearing as active on the company's website. It was once again confirmed to Fightful that she is unable to work wrestling-related bookings until January 1st, with this being contractual rather than being self-imposed by Varnado herself. The New Japan deal is said to have been agreed to as far back as the last week of November, and the deal is said to be ready to go. Regarding her WWE exit, Dave Meltzer would note in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that talks between the two sides would resume when the new regime took over earlier in the year, but the money aspect of the deal was unable to be agreed, despite a other things being agreed upon. Banks is said to have been looking to be on par with other top names in the women's division, although this isn't something WWE were willing to agree to, and the report notes, she was said to be seeking a number along the levels of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and those internally have said she wasn't offered numbers close to that. They said that she's not seen internally as somebody who would be on top for the next 5 years, but is seen as someone who could get a singles or tag team title run, but has peaked as a star aside from the reality that was acknowledged that if she would return, there would be a honeymoon period where people would go nuts for her. It was also confirmed that her deal to go to Japan is with New Japan Pro Wrestling, although it includes work with their sister promotion Stardom, with the Observer adding, the deal is with New Japan but would include one date for Stardom. That would be for a show that is expected in April, but the company had planned for the biggest show in its history, which will tentatively be announced on December 29th at the Stardom Sumo Hall show. As for expectations from New Japan, they hope that they can bring in the eyes of WWE and Star Wars fans to the product, with Mercedes being a cast member in the first season of The Mandalorian on Disney+. Their belief is that Varnado can bring with her a mainstream appeal, with her having 5.6 million Instagram followers and 2.4 million Twitter followers, far more than any of their other talent. This would explain the huge money New Japan are paying for her, with Mercedes said to be their highest paid talent in history. And before we get to the rest of the video, we're hoping to get to 40,000 subscribers before Christmas, so if you regularly watch the videos and you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to Wrestle Planet and turn notifications on so you stay up to date with the latest news from the pro wrestling world. And next, AEW is set to make some big changes in 2023. Earlier this week, news broke that AEW was set to secure the signing of former WWE Vice President of Global Television Production Mike Mansury, who is set to join the company as the Senior Vice President and Co-Executive Producer. Mike is said to have been a big part of WWE's production team up until he left in May 2021, and is said to have been expected to take over Kevin Dunn's role in WWE if he were to ever step aside, which was expected to happen when Vince McMahon retired. One WWE source told the Wrestling Observer that Mike rose too quickly through the ranks, which led to Dunn feeling threatened by his presence. Following the news, the Wrestling Observer newsletter have reported that Warner Bros. Discovery and Tony Khan have decided to change the look of All Elite Wrestling programming in the near future, with changes set to come into effect in January 2023. This is said to be the reason for the recent hiring of Mansury, with him set to lead the charge in the new year. Will Washington of Fightful has added to the story on Twitter, revealing that new ID shots of talent have been filmed, which will be edited into a new intro and presentation asset, with Will noting, a lot of it was in motion weeks ago, by the way. A whole new slate of ID shots for both Dynamite and Rampage were filmed in Newark over Full Gear weekend, featuring all of the available talent. It's unclear how in-depth the new changes will be, whether it be a new stage, new cameras and new camera angles, new graphics, new lighting, new logos, and maybe even new music, with some of, if not all of those things set to be freshened up. For now, the new Vice President of Global Television Production is said to have been backstage at AEW Television in recent weeks observing the current situation. However, he has not officially started work. But what changes do you want to see All Elite Wrestling implement? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 upcoming wrestling free agents that you need to know.